NFL Week 6 picks. Sunday, we got a 9:30 a.m. game, Carolina and Tampa Bay. I tell you, Carolina has looked really good with Kyle Allen at quarterback. He's really doing a great job filling in the shoes of Cam Newton. While Tampa, they defeated the LA Rams 55-40, but then they lost to the Drew Breesless Saints 31-24 last weekend. To me, that win against the Rams was a fluke for the Bucks. And even though the Tampa Bay is representing the home team on the scoreboard, I still think that Carolina finds a way to get it done with Kyle Allen at quarterback. I'm just not a big believer in Jameis Winston. I think Tampa's defense is terrible, to be honest with you. So I'm going to take the Panthers in this game. Give me Carolina. Philadelphia and Minnesota. I do think this will be a good game. It's a battle between 2-2 teams. Two teams with really good defenses. I do think this will be one of the better games of the week that people might overlook, but it's at Minnesota, so man, I don't know. It's a tough game to pick, but like I keep saying every week, if the Vikings are going to go to the Super Bowl like I predicted them to and make the playoffs for that matter, then they got to win games like these, and it's just a tough game to pick, but the Vikings are at home, so I'm going to take Minnesota. Their defense and that home crowd will propel Minnesota to victory. Give me the Vikings. Washington and Miami, the first tank for Tua bowl of the year, or toilet bowl, if you will. 0-5 Redskins versus the 0-4 Dolphins. I like the Redskins to get their first win of the year here. Like the Redskins and Dolphins, they're both horrible. Don't get me wrong. Two of the worst teams in the league. But the Dolphins are keeping teams like the Redskins and the Bengals and the Jets and teams like that. The Dolphins are keeping them from being the worst in the league. So, it'll be a terrible game to watch. It's too bad that America has to be subjected to this garbage this week. Those people who do choose to watch this game and waste a Sunday. But I do think the Redskins will find a way to pull this out. They win this toilet bowl game. Washington gets the win. Houston and Kansas City. Honestly, I'm shocked that the Chiefs somehow lost to the Colts. Patrick Mahomes, I know he was injured towards the end of that game, but they still should not have lost to the Colts. They should have found a way to beat the Colts on their home turf. And I think they'll get back on track this week with a win over the Houston Texans. I don't think Houston's that great. I mean, they might end up going 8-8 or 9-7, but Colts are going to challenge them for the AFC South. I mean, I can see that happening right now. But the Chiefs will get a win. Like I said, Mahomes, he's too good of a player to not bounce back from a loss like last week. So, and of course, they ride that home crowd like they do every home game in Kansas City, one of the toughest places to play in the league. Texans just don't have enough. They just don't have what it takes to win a game like this on the road. That's why I think Kansas City wins. New Orleans and Jacksonville. Teddy Bridgewater versus Gardner Minshew. I think the Saints get a win just because I think they have better offensive personnel than the Jaguars. The Jags have a good defense, don't get me wrong. The Saints have a good defense, but a good offense is the true decider here, and that's why I think that the Saints will win, because Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, those are the pieces that Bridgewater has to work with, and Gardner Minshew doesn't have pieces like that to work with. So give me New Orleans. Saints will win. Seattle and Cleveland. Honestly, I started to believe a little bit more in the Browns after they defeated Baltimore 40-25, but I've gone back to not believing that much in them after they got blown out by the 49ers on Monday Night Football. The whole world watching, they went back to being the Browns we all know them to be last week. And the hype, the preseason hype that may have returned after they defeated Baltimore, all of it just went away once again after they lost to San Francisco. And, they play Seattle this week, and next week they're at New England. They got their work cut out for them the next two games. Seattle's 4-1. They're, coming off big victories against the Cardinals and Rams. I think Cleveland, like I said, I'm just not a believer in them. I think Baker Mayfield, honestly, is an overrated quarterback. And to be honest with you, I think the Browns are the most overrated team in football because, there's no way they should have got all the hype they did in the preseason because people forget this is Cleveland and these are the Browns, and they'll find a way to do Browns things even when all eyes are on them. So that's just the Browns in a nutshell. It's what they do. They let their fans down on a yearly basis. So Cleveland will fall to 2-4. Seattle will get this win. Like I said, Cleveland's going to have to prove to me they can win a game like this, but they're not going to. Seahawks will get the win in Cleveland, and that hype will just keep on dissipating on the shores of Lake Erie. No hope in Cleveland. Seahawks win. Cincinnati and Baltimore. I am going to the game in Baltimore Sunday. I will be there at M&T Bank Stadium. It'll be the fifth NFL stadium that I've seen. Another stadium off the bucket list. I've seen Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Carolina, and now this Sunday I will have seen Baltimore, M&T Bank Stadium. And I hope I get to see a win. I honestly do. I hope we somehow get our first win of the season, but it's not going to happen. Ravens will get the win. They're just simply a better team than us, and I honestly think that the Ravens will end up winning the division because I don't believe it. Because Pittsburgh, like I said, they're without too much. The Bengals are the Bengals, and the Browns are badly overrated. So Baltimore will win this game. San Francisco and LA Rams. This will be a very good game. Arguably, probably, in my opinion, this might be the game of the week. You got the 4-0 49ers looking to prove themselves going into a tough environment in LA against the Rams at the Coliseum. Two high-octane offenses, one led by Jared Goff, one led by Jimmy Garoppolo. And, this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think this will be a shootout. But I'm shocked at what I'm seeing from the 49ers. I really am. I didn't think they would be this good. I thought they might have gone like 7-9 or 8-8 or something like that, but in no way did I expect them to be this good. The 49ers look like contenders right now, and they're going to have to, if they're going to stay contenders in most people's eyes, they're going to have to win a game like this. Another tough game to pick, it really is, but it's at LA. So, I'm going to go with the Rams just because it's at LA. Tough game for the 49ers on the road. It'll be a close game, high-scoring game at that. But the Rams will pull it out just because they're at home. They have the edge. Cardinals and Falcons and Cardinals. Nobody really cares about this game. It's a 1-4 team against a 1-3-1 team. Cardinals, if they didn't play the Bengals last week, they still wouldn't have a win to this point. The only reason they won last week is because they were playing the Bengals, who are one of the worst teams in the league. Yeah, that's the only reason they got a win. Bengals are horrible. But honestly, the Falcons, they're just a disgrace to football, man. They've got Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Devontae Freeman, Matt Ryan, a former Super Bowl quarterback, and they're 1-4. They're just wasting a lot of offensive talent, at 1-4, and they're just really disappointing this year, as they did last year as well. They started off 1-4 last year too, if you all remember. But I somehow think they get a win here. Arizona, if you watch their game against the Bengals last week, they're not a great team. They almost lost to the Bengals. That's all you need to know about them. So I think Arizona will steal this one. Not Arizona, but I think Atlanta will steal this one on the road. Just like I said, they've got to start winning games with the offensive talent they have, and it's got to start this week at Arizona, and I think they'll do that. I think the Falcons get the win. Cowboys and Jets. Cowboys will win this game. Like I said, Jets are horrible. I think I saw where Sam Darnold might play this week. I think I saw where he might play this week. I'm not completely sure, but I think I saw that. Even if he does, still won't matter. Cowboys are just a much better team. They've got, better offense, better defense, just a much better team in general. And Dallas will win the game easily. They'll blow them out. Titans and Broncos. I'm shocked that I was surprised how the Titans lost to the Bills 14-7 last week. I picked Tennessee to win that game, but they only put up 7 points. Bills have a great defense. Their defense is legit. It's one of the best in the league. And they're playing another decent defense this week. The Broncos still have a decent defense, even though they lost Bradley Chubb for the year. But I don't know. I think that this, in my eyes, is kind of a tough game to pick. But I don't know. Give me Denver at home. Broncos will win the game. Sunday Night Football. Steelers and Chargers. I think the Chargers will win the game. Pittsburgh, they'll probably have to start a third-string quarterback. I think Hodges is his name or something from Samford, I believe it is. I don't think he's ever started an NFL game. Well, I'd say he probably hasn't, but it won't matter. If Pittsburgh's in that situation, there's just no way they can win a game like this on the road in prime time. Chargers, like I said, they're just, they totally have the edge if Pittsburgh has to start that guy. And I think they're more talented on offense. So, Chargers will win the game. Like I said, if Pittsburgh has to start a third-string quarterback, they have no chance. Chargers win. And then Monday Night Football. Lions and Packers. This will be a good game, too. Detroit 2-1-1 coming off that tough loss to Kansas City. Green Bay, they're coming off the beatdown of Dallas, which I picked. I thought the Packers would beat the Cowboys. It's at Lambeau Field, primetime, Monday Night Football against the Lions. I think this will be a great game. Another tough game to pick, obviously, because it's two decent teams going up against each other. Two teams that I think still have a legit chance to win the NFC North. I think Green Bay will probably end up winning, even though I picked Minnesota, but that's neither here nor there. The Lions, like I said, they've really exceeded my expectations. Well, they haven't exceeded my expectations. I picked them to finish. I picked them to get a wild card this year, and if they're going to get a wild card, they got to win a game like this at Lambeau Field. Last time Green Bay was in primetime, they lost at home to the Eagles, and Detroit still might make the playoffs, but I do think Green Bay finds a way to win this one at home. It'll be a good game. They might win like on a late field goal or something, or they may get a touchdown late and then preserve the win with a defensive stop or something like that. But I think Green Bay pulls it out. Packers will win the game. Just because they have Aaron Rodgers and he's at home at Lambeau in primetime. Aaron Rodgers, he knows how to get it done. He got it done last week, and he'll get it done again this week in front of his fans. Packers win. Well, there's your Week 6 picks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.